We welcome in Robert the Reaper Whittaker, who takes on Ronaldo Souza in a middleweight fight this Saturday night at UFC on Fox 24 in Kansas City. Thanks for joining us, Robert. First of all, I got to ask, how's your training gone for this big fight on Saturday night?
Training hasn't been better. We got straight back to work after the last fight. And honestly, I think you'll see the best Robert Whittaker come Saturday.
On the same lines, you arrived in Kansas City last week from Australia. How has that time zone transition gone? I'm sure you're used to it by now.
Yeah. The jet lag and the travel was a bit crazy. So luckily, I decided to arrive 10 days earlier, not the standard 7 days. So it helped me adjust to that a little bit better.
Robert, you're on a 6-fight winning streak. You haven't lost in over 3 years. How have you improved as a fighter in that span?
After my back-to-back losses so many years ago, I really had to evaluate what was important to me and how I was doing things, and I started surrounding myself with some really good guys, some good coaches. The guys and the coaches that I use today are those group, and I stayed closer to home. I did all my training out of Australia, which meant that I could stay home and see my kids and my family a lot more, and just big changes.
This will be your 6th fight since you moved to the middleweight division. What differences do you notice about yourself since moving up in weight?
It's funny. Just a hell of a lot less of a worry throughout the training camp about making that weight. And it's definitely a massive stress reliever, as well as less of a toll on my body making that weight, because the weight cuts were getting a bit out of hand.
Robert, how would you compare Jacare to some of the other fighters you've already squared off with inside the octagon?
Jacare is a legend in the sport. His MMA jiu-jitsu is probably the best ever, and he's a really good opponent for me to test my mettle on, and just to see the caliber where I can go, where I need this fight to further my own career.
And finally, if you win this fight on Saturday night and move that streak to 7 wins in a row, what is next for you?
It's very hard to look past Jacare. I really don't have any future until I fight Jacare, and whatever happens will happen, and we'll just have to see what happens after that.
Thanks a lot for joining us, Robert, and best of luck come Saturday.
Pleasure, mate. Thanks for having me again.